What's going on, boys? My name is Schlatt. I had to wait a little bit before making a video on this just because I sounded like an idiot. Um, and now that I'm finally, able to step back and actually compose my thoughts and let it marinate for a while, I guess, I'm ready to talk about it. And it's something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, and it's something that definitely needs to be talked about. Now, you saw the title of the video. You might know what I'm referring to, and I'm talking about Etika and the line from his goodbye video that struck me the hardest. I didn't watch it until he died. And the line in there that hit me the hardest was, "I was too scared to drop my image." There's a longer quote in there, something something to the effect of, I was doing things that didn't make sense. I was so deluded. This whole thing of social media, it had eaten me alive, basically. And he didn't even know he needed help. He didn't even know he needed help, and that's the sad thing. And look, I knew there was something wrong with Etika, I guess. I knew he was going through some shit, even after the first episode he had back in, I guess this was late 2018 at this point, and he had more, and he had more, and I never really said anything. I never said anything. I never said a thing. In fact, the only real time I threw my hat into the ring of the Etika discussion was right up at the end, really. And the tweets that I made were nothing more than what I can describe as me too scared to drop my image. And I think it's the same image that Etika talks about in this video. It's the thing, that a facade that you have to keep up 24/7. And I think you could hear it in his voice if you go back and you watch the video. Like, he knows that this whole thing could have been different, but he let it eat him alive. And I'd respond to Etika a couple times here and there. It was a tweet like, "Go easy on me, senpai," right? That Etika made. And I responded saying, "Yeah, you like dick and balls, Etika?" I was in the persona there. I was 100% in the persona. I wasn't concerned about anything else except propagating, or I guess keeping up this image that I have of this. I don't know. I don't even know. And I let that get in the way of me thinking that, of me believing that I can make any difference, of me even remembering that this guy was actually suffering. I don't know. I saw the tweet and I'm like, I can respond to this, and what it comes down to, that being is two facades interacting with each other on Twitter. Etika posts a tweet when he's deeply suffering, like a week before everything unfolds around him, and I just respond to it, and I feel fucking awful about it. I mean, I wish I could have said anything. Like, it was so easy. It would have been so easy for me to say anything else to the guy, that in reality probably wouldn't have helped his situation, but it could have, right? And I didn't. I couldn't drop the image. And neither could he. And look where we are now. And I'm not saying that I'm anywhere close to being where Etika was or is, I guess. But I don't have much to complain about, right? But I see part of myself in that video, and part of myself in Etika. And I think a lot of these personalities on the internet do too. And looking back at where I've been compared to where I am now, I see even more of it back then. I mean, not 3 years ago, right? This is like early 2016. I started making commentaries, not because I really wanted to, but because that was what I thought you had to do to find success on YouTube. And I'd make commentaries, and I'd laugh at people, and I'd bully people. And I'd cause probably a lot of stress to people if they saw the videos I made talking about them. And then I wanted to be one of those anti-SJW channels. And that was probably for a good year, right? And while I was trying to make it work, while I was so focused on maintaining this image that feeds off of constant negativity, I completely lost track. I got deluded. I made videos I regret. I made tweets I regret, hateful, just apathetic shit. I got involved in drama all the time. I contributed, or I guess I was so thrilled when I saw people's lives being ruined in front of their eyes on YouTube and Twitter, and it's probably not a coincidence that the majority, I want to say pretty much the entire time I was in this phase, when I thought that was what you had to do to be successful, and you had to act in this way, and you had to do this, and you had to tweet this to get people to like you, and to get certain subreddits to see you, and to I don't know, man. I put on that act long enough to the point where it became who I was. Like, that was the image, and that was me. Now it ate me alive. It's no surprise that during this whole time I was absolutely fucking miserable. I'd keep myself up at night like with frantic, like dizzying thoughts of numbers just fucking swirling around in my head, wondering like, well, why, where am I? Where's my growth? What do I have to do to get more SEO? Like, why is this person doing better than I am? 24/7, that stuff was going through my head, and I'm glad now that I'm not doing that stuff anymore. I'm glad that I've moved. I hope I've moved past that phase and grown into just a better person, and God forbid role model to anyone who may be watching. Who, Jesus Christ, I mean, it's rough to think about, because like, because I know I have people watching this who were my age when I was watching Sips, and these people that I've kind of a lot of my content kind of reflects now, and it's so weird to think about. And not that this is not a shot at anyone. I'm just reflecting at my trajectory here, but I still see a big part of that old me in me now, and I think it shines through pretty brightly in those tweets that I made to Etika, and that fucking terrifies me, mainly because to know that a guy who brought so many hours of laughs to me and to thousands of other people can do that, right? Can be so entertaining, can light up a room the second he gets in, and bring in really an unrivaled amount of energy to a stream, and seem so fine on the outside and make jokes and whatnot, and be suffering so deeply on the inside. That's what terrifies me. Look, I'm not going to pretend like I know a lot about mental health, because I don't. I've never struggled with it. I know people who have, but I haven't. And in fact, I've always been that kind of kid who was like made fun of because of how little he seemed to care about everything. Not that I didn't care about anything. I guess I was just kind of reserved back then. But something happened, man. And I guess that was what it took to realize how far you really can go down this rabbit hole. How social media, and I think the main culprit is social media here, how that shit can consume you. Be literally all you think about day in and day out. And that's not something unique to Etika or to any one person, man. That shit is ingrained in us. That's in our DNA. That is in our bones, dude. That social media only exists because of this vulnerability in us that causes us to do this, man. And so I guess I'm just sorry that this whole situation happened. I mean, I wasn't honestly like a die-hard fan of Etika or anything like that, but I did watch his streams. I did watch the compilations. I find it so odd that a reveal trailer for Smash Brothers can turn a man's heart rate up to 180 beats per minute. I will not ever understand it, but it no doubt made my days better, and it I'm sure his streams have in part influenced the way I do things now. And so I think that's it for me right now. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope that I know where my limits are, just in general, I guess.